Hey, this is AJ Tatum with ajtatumdigital.com, and today I'm going to go over Metabox, a WordPress plugin to help you with custom fields, custom post types, and custom taxonomies. So there's other plugins like that out in the field, like Advanced Custom Fields, Toolkit, or Toolset. But I've found that Metabox offers the best bang for your buck. It gives you the most flexibility, so that way you can really extend WordPress to your liking and really kind of bend it towards your will. So, I'm not going to go over Metabox entirely. You can go to metabox.io to see some of the features and whatnot. As you can see here, they have beyond just custom post types and whatnot, that you can do user profiles, registration forms, front-end forms. They have lots of integrations. You can have relationships between two different post types. And then you have Metabox views, which could become really helpful. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And so that's one of the good things right there. And then they have their extensions or plugins. So they integrate with a lot of things. So I use Rank Math. That's one of the plugins that I use. Metabox views. They integrate with Elementor. As you can see here, they have a lot going on. So I definitely suggest you look at it if you're interested or slightly kind of curious. See what's, look into it a little bit. The one thing I would mention is that on their pricing, so if you look here, it's $229 for the most popular bundle. It comes with all the pro extensions. Whereas with the basic bundle, it comes with just 12 pro extensions, and you can't pick which 12 you want. They're kind of already predetermined for you. So if you want all of them, you might as well go. Actually, let's look at the personal plan here. The personal plan is only $99 a year. Lifetime bundle is well worth it because it comes with all solutions, everything else. So definitely worth considering. So let's show some examples, real life examples that I have on my site and how I use it. So let's look here. So if we're going to the Metabox page, the first thing that I want to show you is post fields after content. So let me just go here. So I have basically fields that are shown after the page content. So this is a tab. I'll show you how it looks in the admin and on the front end. Newsletter subject, subtitle, RSS subscription. So basically I can override the excerpt that gets displayed in the RSS feeds, whether or not the post contains an affiliate link. So I can use some logic there. And this is something that I post to remove as kind of like a transitional thing. Then I have another tab here that's called social media marketing, where I have Instagram share message, image URL, Facebook, kind of all pretty much my primary targets for social media marketing. I keep the message in there. And it's stored as post metadata. So you can look at the fields here, or the settings, I should say. You have location, where the post type equals post. And you can have additional logic. So location rules, toggle conditional logic. So you can say we're post, it can be a specific post. Toggle rules, if the taxonomy is one thing or whatever. You can kind of really go crazy on trying to figure out where to place it, where to go, and everything else. So way that I do that on the front end, so let me show you here. So if I scroll down to the bottom, so here this is dynamic content that's displayed if there is an affiliate link. So there's a check mark in this post. If I check it, this displays up. And then it says, hey there, friend. I want to say things on all things related to online presence management and more. So related to online presence management, that's also one of the custom fields. So I put that in there. So for each different post, I can have a different subject to kind of just make it so it's not the same subtitle every single time. So that's there. Now, let me show you actually. Scroll all the way back up. It'd be easier to do it this way. If we go into Edit Post, and scroll down here. So these are the tabs right here. So newsletter subject, the subtitle, and the RSS description, and the 2 check boxes. And then for social media marketing, for this particular one, because it's relatively new, I don't have it. I only have the Instagram message. So let me show you one that's related to this video. It's in the draft status right now, but if I go to edit, and scroll all the way down, social media marketing. So I have different messages, tagging people for each one. The image is all the same except for Instagram, because Instagram likes square images. And where this comes into play is not necessarily using MetaVox, but that post metadata is available to you in WordPress's REST API. So if you're using Zapier, if this then that, or some other tool to grab posts, that post metadata comes across. So you can take that information and then automatically post it to social media, your social media network. Alternatively, you can have a plugin like Uncanny Automator, which I recently just got, and as you can see, this is also in draft status. But basically, it kind of handles a lot of WordPress magic for you. So when the user publishes a post, it posts to AJ2 Digital. So let's look at this. So it has the post ID for the or the Meta Instagram share URL, and then the description along with the post URL. And that's pretty much the same pattern for all the social networks. So that's that. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is, let's see here. User info front-end data. So what this is basically a way of expanding user information for users that sign up and decide to opt in to enter this information during registration or editing their profile, whatever it may be. So we have a tab for user info, gender, birthday, website URL, phone number, whether or not they're a newsletter subscriber, SMS subscriber. I haven't gotten into text messaging or SMS marketing yet, but I'm looking into it, so I figured I'd keep that as a checkbox for now. Then we have a location tab with city, state, and country. Business info, which basically is if the person is a business owner, the business name, their position, website URL, all this information. So some of it is, so this social information. So if I look at, if you recall, at the bottom of the post, you saw the my author box, so the about me. So on my profile, I have all my social media profiles filled out, and it's basically building in there. I'll show you how I created that in a MetaBox views, pulling that information. But as far as this other information goes, let's look at an example here of where. So hold on here. So yeah, so this is the post footer content. So this is where MetaBox really shines, in my opinion. So they use a template. You have 3 tabs up here. You have a template, then you have CSS and JavaScript. And the template is called, or the template in the engine is called Twig. I never heard of Twig or knew Twig when I started it, but it is pretty easy to pick up. It's very well documented, has a really active community. And as you can see, it's pretty like the easy to read. So you're right here, for example, we're setting this variable equal to post contains affiliate links. Now, MetaBox has this insert field here where you can automatically bring in a lot of the fields. So if you may not know exactly what the field is in the database, but MetaBox does a pretty good job of helping you out with this. So if I click on post ID, it brings it in right there. As you can see, if it contains the affiliate links equals 1, we're going to display this little section here. And then we have basically right here, we're calling a WordPress function called do shortcode. So if we want to call a WordPress function, you can do so by just doing mb period dot WordPress function. So in this case, do shortcode. And in this case, I'm calling the Nova Share inline content. So that shows the share buttons for the post. And then I have a section here for the newsletter. And as you can see right here, I want to stay up to things and all things. And this is where I have some logic. So I say we're post. This is called coalescing, this little section here. It is a developer term, I apologize, but it's post.newsletter is not blank, then show post.newsletter subject. Otherwise, just show digital marketing. So that if I forget to put something in that field, something's going to be there. It's not going to be blank. And then you got that right there. Again, we're calling another form here. So if someone clicks, they want to sign up, we're going to show them the form to sign up for the newsletter. And finally, we have my author box here. So again, this is pulling in custom metadata right here, user business position, business name, description. Also, just a little tidbit, as you can see, I'm using schema to wrap in the item prop, author, item type, person, which helps Google out. So if you're doing anything within MetaBox views and you have an opportunity to use schema, definitely take advantage of it. Schema.org. It does take a little bit more time to type out because you have to wrap things around in spans or do things, but it's well worth it. Pays off for SEO purposes. So as you can see, it's pretty simple. Now I will say, design-wise, you do have to be a little bit, especially do some research. If you've never done any CSS, you want to look into media queries, so that way you can have responsive design, so that way it looks differently um, for mobile devices and tablets and whatnot. But as you can see, we have some basic JavaScript, CSS, and template. And then for displaying it, it gives you the ability where you can have it where it's a singular archive, action, code, or shortcode. Action means that you're going to hook into an existing action. So I'm saying, hey, whenever Astra entry content after is, do this on singular pages on all posts. So Astra entry content after is specific to my theme, Astra, which is a great theme. Otherwise, you can use generic WordPress, which is, I want to say, after content or something of that nature. But that is there. Also, while we're looking at MetaBox views, let's go here. And look at recent posts. So this is an area that took some time because, again, responsive design. So basically, instead of buying another plugin or having some third-party plugin, I built my own recent post widget that's on every page. So right here, I'm just querying to get 4 posts, the last 4 posts, and then 4 each post in this array of posts. I'm going down and getting the post URL, all the stuff I need to build it out. Now, HTML, not so difficult. The CSS, so here you got the media queries. So where the screen is between certain widths, where it's the max size width. But I'm using what's called a display grid, which makes media queries really easy. So basically, what this is saying is if it's a cell phone, we're going to have it be a 1 column. If it is a tablet, it's going to be 2 columns. Otherwise, it's going to be 4 columns. So that's what that is. Pretty simple. Now, let's show an example really quick of how we can use the metadata for the users. So, let's go here. So, even though MetaBox offers user front-end forms and login and registration profile, I still prefer Gravity Forms. I've actually purchased Fluent Forms. I've been a huge Gravity Forms fan, but looking into Fluent Forms. But for the time being, so here is an example field where we have some WordPress defaults. Then you have birth date and website. If you go to settings, user registration, we go to the user registration feed. And here you can see where we're setting our custom field to those values. And you have all the custom fields right here at your disposal. So when the person edits their profile, we can get that information if they enter it. So it's really nice to have. So now let's take a look at custom post types. Now, I do have a couple of custom post types in the works, but I haven't really taken advantage of them yet. After I can find, let's take this. So basically, I have a custom post type called a web article. So if we look at this, we can see that it's easy that we can give it a Perl name, singular name, and then slug. So as you can see, web articles right here, add all web articles, add new. When you type this in, it automatically fills out all the labels for you, which is really nice. Saves you a bunch of time. If you just has HTML code, imagine the old way of having to do this at the lines of code that you'd have to type. It's insane. So now I have advanced. So this is where you can control if it's public or not. I want to exclude it from search. All these different things that you have at your disposal. One thing that is really nice that stood out to me when looking at other custom post type plugins is how easy it is to make it so that way it's not after /blog. So usually it'd be like if I have web articles, it'd be blog /articles /whatever. By leaving this unchecked, it can be agitateddigital.com /articles or /custom post type. So that's really nice to be able to do with just a simple click of a button. Then supports, you have all these here. And then you have taxonomies. So you can select existing taxonomies or you can create new ones. So as you can see here, I have article tag and article category. And just like custom post types, taxonomies is a very much similar look and feel. So if we look into here, it's pretty much the exact same thing. So not a whole lot right there. So yeah, that is my MetaBox review of all the features you can do, or most of them, not all of them, I guess. You could really dive in deep if you wanted to go into all the different features, but it is absolutely worth it. It's definitely one of the best investments I've made as far as WordPress plugins go. If you want, check out the blog post that's related to this to get a little bit more information, or go to metabox.io to purchase it. Thank you.